Hello, class. My name is Zion Johnson, and I will be talking about 400 Blows, the new wave French film. The story follows Antoine Douanel, a young Paris boy growing up. Um, he's a very flawed character. Throughout the film, you see him make many mistakes, such as in the beginning, where he's punished by the teacher and forced to sit in the corner, or even when he runs away from home and is sent to a juvenile detention place at the end. As the story goes on, Antoine becomes less of a troublemaker and more of a sympathetic character. In the scene where Antoine is interrogated, um, and the viewer understands that his mother never wanted him to be born, that he's only alive because of his grandmother, and the reason why he lies, just because people already expect him to lie. Um, you start to understand why he makes some of the decisions that he does. Um, and it becomes very clear that Antoine doesn't have the support that he needs um, to become a successful and contributing member to society. He's kind of doomed at the start. Unpacking some of those layers in Antoine's life, I talked about how Antoine's mom never wanted him to be born, but it's clear very early on that his mom is not very affectionate to him and treats him almost as like he's a problem. And even with his stepfather, you can see how early on it seems like they have a good rapport, but as the story goes on and as Antoine makes more mistakes, his father becomes cold towards him, even to the point where he disowns him completely. You can see how Antoine is villainized in other areas of his life, such as in school, but one area that is a detriment to Antoine that I think is not very apparent is in his friend group. Renee is Antoine's best friend. Early on in the film, they go to a carnival and they skip school, and he helps Antoine run away. But I think in those actions, he is helping Antoine to do negative things in his life, which aren't helping him to turn his life around. So, in that sense, his friend is a negative impact in his life as well. Um, you can argue just as negative as his parents or his teachers. This leads to one of the biggest themes in 400 Blows: betrayal. His teacher, who's there only to educate him, only demeans him. His parents, who are there to support him, only treat him as if he's a problem. And his friend, Renee, when he needed him most, when he's in the juvenile delinquent center, Renee can't do anything for him. This is what makes Antoine such a relatable character because at some point in every one of our lives, we've experienced defeat or betrayal or been demeaned in some sense, which is why I think his character contributes to why this movie is so renowned and so um, thought as a good film. Some of my favorite sequences from the film include at the end where Antoine is running on the beach and he turns and looks in the camera, and there's a bit of a mystery as to what this means. And also, earlier on in the film, where the gym teacher is leading the students throughout the city, and all the students start to escape in two by two pairs, to where it's only the gym teacher left and two other children. Um, I thought that scene was an excellent long take, and I really enjoyed it. That is another thing with this film. A lot of its scenes still live up today. It hasn't really dated as much as other films have. I could still send this film to one of my friends and they'll probably enjoy it, even though it's in black and white. 400 Blows also succeeds at showing the characteristics of a new wave film. It captures regular people in their regular environment. Um, this is one gripe that I had with the film at first is how sad it was, but I think that just shows how realistic it is in the sense that life isn't always a fairy tale and things do end poorly. In conclusion, 400 Blows is a film I would definitely recommend to those who are trying to get into new wave French films and just for film enthusiasts in general. So I give it a thumbs up.